Okay, so here we go. We got consumption and reproduction and cannibalism and addiction. Now, in my videos, I say, why don't we add at least interaction, which you'll see in his video where he's talking about gray text. He starts using the word interaction now, because he just gleans off of whatever's being said and then incorporates it, and that's his form of education, right? This is education by Gary through the internet, right? Okay, so when I refer to as quad, I'm referring to these four things here. Now, the thing about these four, consumption, reproduction, cannibalism, and addiction, is that, number one, we do reproduce, but we don't always reproduce. So let's just scratch that off as a necessity, right? Now, as far as deconstruction, the skeptical Harriet uses deconstruction in terms of analysis or just breaking down an analysis, where Derrida uses deconstruction in terms of what multiplicity or what binary falls into what primacy or singularity. And so by that same token, I want to suggest that cannibalism, right? If we do a Venn diagram out here and we say, okay, here is consumption, right? Consumption right here, and then inside of consumption is cannibalism. Now we can interchange these if we would like, right? But in this particular Venn diagram, you got A, therefore B, right? It's the same thing with if that was France and this is Europe. If you are a cannibal, then you're necessarily consuming, right? And if you're not consuming, then you're definitely not a cannibal, right? So we got that down. So we can take cannibalism right here, right? Cannibalism, and we can move that up as a subset of consumption. So now we've taken out basically reproduction, we've got consumption and addiction, right? Now we could say, because he'll say that any desire whatsoever is like reproduction, the desire to go get on somebody and do them, hump them, or the desire to go consume is part of this addiction, right? So we got cannibalism taken care of as a subset of consumption. And now we can say, well, to go consume, and if we resurrect reproduction here, we can say both reproduction and consumption are now subsets of addiction, right? So basically we've taken the quad and we've reduced it down to just addiction, right? Now I suggest that we add as primary to his quad, his four, interaction and animation. And the reason I say that is because how are we not interacting? Kind of like if you are moving, right? If you're living, then you're interacting, right? You have some environment. Kind of like his cannibalism is a closed system, right? He'll refer to, well, we're on a closed system like the Earth, so we're eating ourselves, right? Well, the same thing. We're interacting with some environment, right? So if we're interacting with some environment and we're animated, right? So which comes first? Is animation a type of interaction, or is interaction a type of animation? Well, I'll suggest that action, just action itself, right, is a type of animation, right? And so interaction, because we're interacting with some background in a closed system with some environment, that this is a subset of animation. And the addiction, right, the impulse to move towards something is also a subset of animation, right? So now we can take animation and interaction, or addiction and interaction, and put those as subsets of animation. Now the reason I would say animation is because the most primarily about our existence, we are animated, right?